Welcome, Earthlings! From the minds of Dylan Oltoft and Rob McNabb, we bring you Laughing on a Prayer!
And that is why it turns out that Morpheus was in fact the distant relative of Maggie Simpson all along.
Yeah, and also Maggie Simpson was the third cousin twice removed from Dobby the house elf.
Who it turns out from the Machiavellian universe is in fact the great-grand niece of Queen Elizabeth I.
Exactly, and Queen Elizabeth I from our history.
Which is Harry Potter.
Yes.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome to Laughing on a Prayer. My name is Dylan Oltoft, and this is my partner, Rob McNabb. Whoa, partner. We play tennis together. Shut up.
It's 2021. Fuck off.
Yeah, we're just coming out of July. We're fine. So then...
A little bit late, but we like to last longer.
And this is our next episode, where, as you may have guessed, I don't know if you guessed that from the opening.
No, I don't think they have.
We are covering film theories. There have been a lot of popular media over the years, you don't fucking say, Dylan. And we are having a look at, we're going to talk about and discuss various theories people have come up with beloved franchises over the years. And we're going to discuss and see if they actually hold any water or if they're all bollocks.
Yeah. Bit like this podcast, which definitely doesn't hold any water.
47 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, there's two arseholes in it, so
Could you imagine if we were ever held to any kind of professional standard? Imagine if years from now someone is referencing our podcast in their dissertation as a reference, as though we're some sort of legitimate form of advocacy on some sort of actual sort of analysis.
Oh yeah, and then the fucking lecturer goes like, you source Rob and Dylan in your essay? Those guys are really fucked up.
I'm going to bet, the thing is, how many people probably reference, fucking Donald Trump quotes in their essays over the last couple of years? People talking about in their political science dissertations, the downfall of America's clitoris, and there's just full of Trump quotes.
I don't know, man. Downfall of America's clitoris. Everyone's fucking sensitive over there, aren't they?
Holy shit, that needs to be a film if they ever make a film about Hillary Clinton. That's the title. The Downfall of America's clitoris.
No, she's not the clitoris, though. She's the cunt. She's the actual hole that needs to get fucked.
She's that little bit of skin that hangs off that's useless, the woman.
Oh, fuck it.
I'm sorry. That is an old joke. Do not hold me to that.
Yeah, old like Hillary Clinton.
This took a fucking political turn. We are covering film theories, and there are a lot out there stemming all the way from The Matrix to Pixar to Star Wars and so forth. Rob, do you know many theories, or shall I start us off out of the gate?
I know a couple, but you start.
Okay, then. I always like to start because I'm always on top. Here we go, Rob.
I like to be wooed.
Oh yes, Rob is actually a very...
You have to work for me.
Rob's a very expensive date. He's not just a finely polished butthole. There's a whole man around that you have to make happy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a classy lassie.
But Rob... Every single Arnold Schwarzenegger movie is, in fact, all within the Terminator universe.
Dylan, explain.
Basically...
That's my contribution for this moment of the podcast.
All of Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies, going all the way from his first one, all the way until some... I don't know. Anyway, they're all in fact...
You mean his last one?
No, not current, because the Terminator franchise is dead, are all part...
What was his last one?
Of the
Genesis?
I think it was Dark Fate. The Terminator movie Dark Fate.
When did that come out?
I don't know, a year ago.
Is that the Emilia Clarke? A year? Oh.
It was really shit. They brought back Sarah Connor.
Which one?
Only Sarah Connor.
No, but Lena Headey or
Yeah,
Emilia
as
Clarke?
an old Sarah Connor, yeah.
Because Emilia Clarke's Sarah Connor as well.
Yeah, but fuck her.
I mean... She's Daenerys. She's probably got enough money.
She would have made a very good that woman in Aquaman replacement. Forgotten the cat.
Anyone would have. I would have. Fuck you, ever heard? Again. Not in that way. But fuck you. Anyway,
I
sorry.
saw a picture on Facebook the other day that actually suggested Emilia Clarke should have been Captain Marvel. And I just thought to myself, no. Brie Larson does look like Captain Marvel. It's just she's shit. Like, in terms of likeness, she's dead on. She looks just like her, but she's shit. That's the only problem. Like, Emilia Clarke looks nothing like her and might be great.
I mean, have you seen Captain Marvel?
Yes, sadly.
Oh, the scripts and that's just...
It's all wank, and the actress is just really affrontive and really hostile and miserable. Like, oh yeah, because all the men are keeping her down. That doesn't make her interesting or fun.
Also, the story is like, oh look, Jude Law, the man that is keeping our heroine back. And he's British. I wonder if he's the bad guy. Oh yeah, no, he is.
Also, there have been tons of Marvel heroes that were constantly told how shit and worthless they were, and yet they were still managed to be charming and fun to watch.
And he's not even in it.
Tony Stark was a sad alcoholic that pissed in his own Iron Man suit, and he was still more charismatic.
Yeah, I know. But it's like, Jude Law wasn't even in that film. Like, what he was, he was like there 5 minutes at the beginning, and then 5 minutes in a spaceship, and then 5 minutes at the end where they don't even have a fight.
Oh, could you imagine if Jude Law had been War Machine?
Isn't War Machine supposed to be America?
I think he could probably do the accent, like just acting. But
who isn't? Oh, no.
You know, Brody.
Yeah. So I was thinking of Falcon.
Oh, fuck Falcon.
Yeah, fuck Falcon.
I haven't watched the Falcon Winter Soldier.
No, I haven't.
TV show.
I haven't.
I've been watching Loki with my partner.
I haven't either, and to be honest, I don't really want to because it's like, look, Winter Soldier's cool, but Falcon's just really not.
Have you watched Loki at all?
No.
Me and my partner have been watching it. It's quite fun.
Oh, is it quite good?
But yes, the Terminator movies are all within... fuck's sake, all Arnold Schwarzenegger movies are all within the Terminator franchise because they are all the programming, and this is where things get fucky. The first batch...
This is where things get fucky. Is that a scientific term?
Yes, it is. The first batch of his movies, things like Predator... Things like all his Commando are all the work of Skynet running the T-800 through simulations of wiping out humans. But then comes Terminator 2, where all of his other movies past that point, Kindergarten Cop, Junior...
it's not the tumor, sorry.
Jingle All of the Way, and Jingle All the Way, and... all those other movies are in fact the human resistance reprogramming the T-800 so that he wants to protect and empathise and support humanity. So all of Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies that are the most violent are all the machines programming the T-800s to kill all humans, and all of the ones that are the light-hearted ones about him protecting and looking after kids and women and all that sort of things, where he's saving the damsel in distress, like the Running Man and all that things, are the human resistance reprogramming him to protect humanity.
So, like, when he's in the Expendables and shit, and he says, I'll be back, it's because he's been programmed and shit.
Yep.
That's cool.
It's all a simulation to try and train the T-800 to protect humanity.
Wait, isn't the Matrix like the simulation?
Well, that's a different theory.
Oh.
But yeah,
Is it bad that I've watched Jingle All the Way?
No, that's fucking... Sinbad's funny as hell. That moment when the bomb actually goes off and he actually says, that was really a bomb? It's a sick world we're living in. Sick people. I fucking love that. But anyway, so what's your opinion on that theory? That all of that... Do you think that holds any water? It's out there, but I can connect certain dots.
I feel like... So the whole point of Skynet is to, like, destroy humanity.
But you cannot destroy what you don't understand.
Yeah. But it's like, why would you... Like, surely, like, as everyone says, kids are our future and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So... if you want to, sort of get rid of humans, surely you want to destroy the future of humanity. So why didn't he just go in and fucking waste all those kids rather than...
Well, because the Kindergarten Cop one was the human resistance reprogramming him. The earlier films where he's like Commando and Predator, his earliest one where all he does is massacre humans, that's the Skynet programming. But the ones like Kindergarten Cop is when the human resistance is reprogramming him to want to protect humans.
That means, in a way, that Predator's actually the protagonist in that film, then.
Yes.
He's trying to kill the...
Predator was in a way, a sort of a vagina-faced John Connor.
Yeah. but not a massive pussy.
Yes. Not Christian Bale. So
I mean, Christian Bale was like the least pussy John Connor, I feel, though.
I hated that film so much. Well, there's only been like 2. That's not much of a horse race. There's teenage John Connor and then him. Well, there was the guy at the beginning of Terminator 2 that looked through binoculars, but I don't think he counts.
No, but like the Christian Bale John Connor is like, he's pretty hardcore, isn't he? Because there's like the part of
I'm racking my brain for something cool he did.
Sam Worthington, who plays the Terminator, and then they like...
What, the one that looks like the human?
Well, I mean, they all look like humans, don't they? Well, like, you know, the characters, like...
No, I mean the one that was, like, programmed by, you know, Helen Bonham Carter to be evil. Remember when her face fucking turned up?
Yeah, I remember that. But he, like, Sam Worthington, like, the Terminator, like, main Terminator.
Yeah.
In Salvation. When he turned up and shit, and then he got blown up by, like, a mine or something, and they're like, oh, shit, he's got, like, metal inside, he's a Terminator. And Christian Bale's character has him, like, strung up and shit.
Right.
And whatever her name is, can't remember, because she's like basically a 2D, like one-dimensional cheerleader for Christian Bale. Was like, oh no, you can't kill him. And Christian Bale's like, no, not him. It doesn't fucking. And you're just like, oh man, that's fucking hardcore. Like he's, you know, jaded as fuck. Like he's been through.
But technically, shouldn't he be sympathetic towards machines, given the events of Terminator 2 and 3, where he actually formed bonds with machines?
Yeah, but then they fucked up the rest of humanity, and he's just trying to stay like it's like it's not.
I feel we can't briefly talk about that without referencing at least the famous Christian Bale freakout on set of Terminator Salvation. The famous recording of him yelling at some, what is it, like a background TA or something.
I mean,
I love that.
I wonder why. It's because there was a guy who was like a photographer, I think, and
someone
if
that
you're
had
the
ruined
director
the
for
scene.
sure, but it's like this fucking photographer just went into the scene. And to be fair, it's like if someone walked in, if I was trying to make a fucking $1 million budget movie, and some motherfucker just came in with the camera, and was like, mate, what the fuck are you doing?
Also, apparently, it was like really early in the morning, and he was really sleep deprived and really tired.
Yeah.
It was like 5 a.m. or something. They'd done like 4 takes, and this person had screwed up
Just
like 2 or 3 of them.
No, it's like a photographer or something like that.
This person had ruined the shot like at least once or twice, and then he just lost
shoved
it.
The camera in his face. It's like, mate, just get the fuck off. I mean, as actors, we know what happens when people like you know, fucking piss you off. It's like why are you fucking up the scene? All right, like you're a photographer. All right, you can take pictures at appropriate times when people are actually trying to work. Get the fuck up. Obviously, unprofessional or whatever, but I can like understand why he was pissed off.
Maybe that's part of the simulation as well.
Is it?
So what do you think? It's possible or not possible that all of the things could be a simulation run by the Skynet and Resistance to reprogram the Terminators to be killing machines and humans saving machines?
I think it's possible, but then I'd say that Skynet does have a budget problem because they dedicated a lot more time to certain films than they did to others.
Well, that was a big problem. The fact that because they were assembly line Terminators, they were so easily hackable. That's why the T-800s or the T-500s were able to be reprogrammed by the Resistance, because they were they couldn't be sophisticated. They were just pieces of shit.
Yeah, potentially. But then it's like in Kindergarten Cop and in Commando, like which what like iteration of Terminator is he?
Commando
because
is
in
when
Commando,
Skynet has
he's
him.
Definitely like the fucking hardcore one. Like he just fucking kills.
Just
everybody.
massacres humans left and right. Again, that's part of the infiltration of the Terminator in Arnold's skin sort of thing. Blend among the humans and wipe them out.
Yeah, but then in like Expendables, he helps the humans, doesn't he? He doesn't actually, other than like killing the guys that are not on his team. But it's like
that'd be the Resistance
Expendables, though. The Expendables are like the most dangerous guys. Why wouldn't you kill them?
Because he's working with them, and again, it's working with the Resistance.
Why is he doing that though?
Because It's part of it because in order to protect John Connor and save his life, like with Sarah Connor, he has to work with humans to defend them against people that are getting in their way. Because remember, the T-1000 disguised himself as a human.
That's like way after he tries to protect John Connor. When did Expendables come out? 2010?
Yeah, but if we're pretending that all of these movies are the reprogramming of the Resistance, they know what's coming to...
canon, though?
What do you mean?
Like, are they not... are these iterations of Terminators not in, like, the same time zone as the films?
Not if this theory can hold water, because Arnold might make
well, then maybe the theory can't hold water.
Well, if Arnold makes a movie next year, I can't add it to the theory, can I?
Maybe I'm... To be fair... Even if it doesn't hold water, I really like it.
I like it as well.
I think it's cool. And that's the thing about like
rewatch all these movies pretending it's the machine gun.
I think I do like theory. Even if theories don't hold water, I think there's this idea that if a theory doesn't hold water, then it sucks. It's like no. Even if it doesn't hold water and it's fun, that's where I'm at. I'm like, yeah.
I'd say if you can...
And I also, like you said, I love the idea that there's a fucking Terminator teaching school kids shit. that's
to reprogram him from killing them.
Yeah, that's funny. I like that.
I think if a theory can have at least a believable framing device to it. Again, the idea that, because they're reprogramming him not to kill humans, that's why they're running him through Kindergarten Cop and fucking Jingle All the Way. So a T-800 has all these memories of like, okay, don't kill kids.
There's something even more sort of like insidious about that, isn't that? It's like we're going to put this killing machine amongst a load of children to teach it shit.
And what happened in Terminator 2? He was really nice to John.
Yeah.
He was supportive. He was encouraging. He would have made a good stepdad. So,
yeah.
I think Robot Chicken made a skit about that.
Did they?
Like if he hadn't sacrificed himself at the end and married Sarah Connor, but he then became a real douchey stepdad. Like John Connor come through the door like, you didn't pick me up after school, and his memory modulation say, I need to crush his self-esteem to make him a good veteran leader. He's like, I don't care about you, dipshit. Now get me another beer.
What is it fucking?
He's just an asshole.
Reinforcement.
Yeah, to make him the future leader.
Yeah.
He's just an asshole. Okay, have you got a theory?
Yeah.
What you got for
It's
us?
called Rondeldor.
I'm worried about this.
Have you heard of Rondeldor?
I haven't, and I'm really scared. Please tell me it's not slash fiction.
No, it's not.
Okay,
no,
Dumbledore didn't bugger wrong.
It's fan fiction, which is about, what this podcast is about. Okay. So there's a theory that Dumbledore is Ron Weasley from the future, or the past. So the theory is...
What, he's like a time turner?
Yeah.
Okay, let me hear the... Okay, lay it out.
So the theory is that Ron used a time turner, and Ron is actually Dumbledore. And so Ron knows what fucking happened, right?
Okay.
And then he becomes Dumbledore, but obviously because you don't fuck with time, so he has to take on this alias of Dumbledore to teach Harry shit. But then the reason why Dumbledore's so vague about stuff is because Ron is like, I can't be too specific because if I am, then Harry's going to figure it out. Which, personally, I don't think he will, because Harry's dumb as fuck.
And this is a Ron that's lived through all the films, so he knows where all the Horcruxes are and all that shit.
No, it's a Ron that's lived in the future, that then goes... He's lived in a future where, Voldemort wins.
Oh, so alternate reality.
And so he gets a time turner to go back. It's like the whole thing, I'd go back in time to kill Hitler. It's like he lives in the future where Voldemort wins and it sucks, so he gets a time turner and then turns back to before, and then he mentors Harry to beat Voldemort.
Can I ask, does the existence of the Fantastic Beast films fuck up this theory? Because Dumbledore's history with Grindelwald and all that.
The existence of the Fantastic Beast films is an affront to the Harry Potter universe, and I will not have that language spoken in front of me.
I will agree there, fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
Also, I don't know. This theory came out before the Fantastic Beast.
I can kind of get behind that. That would make more sense to me as to why McGonagall trusted Hermione with the time turner, because that's his future slam piece. So he's like, okay, I know Hermione's not a dipshit. McGonagall, give her this, universe-ending toy.
Yeah. I say this because
Wait, why didn't... Holy shit, that means he didn't give himself all of his school books for free. That was like a big thing with like the Weasley household, how they were so poor they couldn't afford the school books from Hogwarts. And that's Ron as an old man just watching his past family suffer. What a dick.
Yeah, but he can't fuck with time, so, that's always an excuse, isn't it?
And he still hired the same groundskeeper that was keeping a giant spider, the one thing he hates as a pet.
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? It's like...
Well, if you say he's bound by history, then you can just argue that anybody could have been the past Dumbledore, but they just can't act different.
Oh, no, it's because it's like... Yeah, well, but not anyone could, because not everyone had the time turner.
Well, weren't they all destroyed? I'm familiar.
I think that was the thing, though, is that he had like one of the last remaining ones, because Voldemort was like, oh shit, people are going to use time turners to come fuck me up, but he managed to
I'd be surprised the Ministry...
Remember, Dumbledore gave Hermione the time turner, so he had it.
I love how the Ministry...
Also, Harry Potter plays very fast and loose with time.
Yeah.
So,
well, to be honest,
this theory has holes.
You're not able to change the future. That is what the time turners established. Any difference you think you're making actually turned out that's the way it happened all along. And then the cursed child came out and just fucked that out of the fucking water. JK, you transphobic idiot cunt. Anyway.
Thing is, though, it's that's the question, actually, isn't it? It's just because, she said some, pretty dodgy shit about trans people, does that make her work, invalid?
It doesn't make her work invalid, but I think she's gone off her fucking rails. Maybe fame got to her, maybe she just thought she could use her platform to push her own ideals.
No, but she's already done that stuff. She was like, oh yeah, Dumbledore's gay.
He was retconning a lot of shit. I remember her coming out saying Hermione was meant to be black and stuff like that.
The thing is though, Hermione's skin colour has absolutely no impact on the story whatsoever. Dumbledore could be asexual for all it matters.
Should we allow writers to retcon their own work? Imagine if the guy who painted the Mona Lisa 4 years later said, actually, I want to put a moustache on her.
Well, that's painting painting a moustache.
A book and a painting are similar in terms of art.
But
the creator
really.
Should not be allowed to tamper with it, is what I'm saying.
But not really, though, because it's like painting a moustache on something that people can physically see rather than... I guess J.K. Rowling could...
Yeah, but once the author has said Dumbledore was gay, you'll never read those books the same way again. It's the exact same effect.
I don't need to, though. It has no effect on the story.
Not the story, but again, it does influence how you reread it. So it does affect your experience of it.
No, it doesn't. Dumbledore being gay doesn't affect anything.
But you now know he's gay, so now every time... So maybe when he says something, it's oh, did he mean that because he's gay or something?
But guess what? I'm not a fucking idiot. I don't care who he takes to bed.
Okay,
I care about a good story. Sorry, PC fucknuts.
You know I agree with you. I'm just talking in a sort of general term here.
But I think painting a moustache on the Mona Lisa versus just saying that Dumbledore's gay is not the same thing, though.
But she didn't stop there, and that's sort of my point.
Yeah,
she sort of got drunk with power and started... imagine if people had kept applauding. She would have made Draco transgender or something. Oh wait, no, not that. She hates that.
She was definitely pandering. It's
she's trying to stay relevant.
She was like, "Oh, Hermione's black." It's that has no impact on the story whatsoever.
To be fair, if I remember, those movies were very white. But then again, it took place in England, which is predominantly white.
Yeah.
I'm not saying black people don't exist there. I'm just saying...
there were black actors in there.
Yes, there were. There were a few girls and a lad, I remember. He had a good line. The lad that read the... Fucking hell, I sound so patronising here. Oh yeah, there was that black character. He had that one scene. Racism solved. I'm of course not pandering here.
Lee Jordan. The guy who's Ginny's boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
to be honest, they replaced one of Draco Malfoy's friends. I think it was Crabbe or Goyle, because one of them got caught doing weed or something, so they replaced his friend with a black actor.
There was also, in the Prisoner of Azkaban, there's the actor who my cousins actually went to school with. Interesting, the guy who's explaining the Grim, the Grim.
That's what I was talking about a second ago, him.
He was Lee Jordan. There are, but the thing is, I think it's just when you pander... in that way, it's mate, you clearly just had an afterthought. Hermione's black. Oh yeah, Dumbledore's gay. It's like, stop trying to score points with...
I think it really
people
comes
that-
across that she's pandering to Western audiences, because it's not like she was saying, oh yeah, Draco was meant to be Asian, or fucking McGonagall was meant to be Polynesian. I think she was clearly just trying to latch onto Western cultural motives, like...
At the time.
Yeah, because obviously there's always racial tension between... Hermione was meant to be black, but then excludes any other race to be represented in those books.
There's that, is it, what is it? You know that animated thing where they do How It Should Have Ended?
Yeah,
or whatever. Where Hermione says, "Oh, like mudblood is the worst word you can call," and then it cuts to some black students like, so they just don't know human history. it's like that's also like true.
How do you think sex education is taught in the wizarding world?
Oh, it's definitely not.
Wands and portkeys.
I mean, the fact that health and safety is not taught in there means that sex education is definitely not taught in there.
I mean, they had Doctor Who as a Defence Against the Dark Arts teacher at one point, so... Yeah, you work that out. I'm not going to hold your hand here.
The Doctor. The Doctor.
But yes, Ron as Dumbledore.
Rondledore. That's what the theory is called. It's called Rondledore.
I'm trying to think it holds
dumb.
water, but is there any evidence?
Oh no, I know. I never said it holds water. I said it's dumb, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the name mostly. Rondledore.
I'm trying to give it a bit of driftwood to not sink on. I'm like, is there anything Dumbledore does that could ever suggest that it might be Ron? Like, give me something. Because otherwise, you could just say Draco was Dumbledore all along and helped Harry because he felt guilty for being a dick.
Oh, it doesn't have to have water. It just needs to be fun. Rondledore. That's a funny word to say. Alright? That's a funny word to say. I didn't say it was a good one.
Why not have something more fun? Like, Professor McGonagall was secretly Nagini all along because she could transfigurate into a snake.
Transfigure.
Fuck off. McGonagall was Nagini. Internet, defend it.
But it's like in Fantastic Beasts, it's like this other woman that's called something else.
Oh yeah, they turned her into a... What do they call them, the people? Like Animagus. They turned her into a fucking Animagus.
Like, I mean, I actually recently rewatched. I fucking watched it last night. Actually, the third Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh yeah.
You know where Snape is like, do you know what the difference between an Animagus and a werewolf is?
And Hermione just answers that, and he's like, "You fucking you know it all, bitch." 5 points.
Yeah. He says, those exact words you know. Or do you take pleasure in being insufferable?
I love it. Alan Rickman, when you rewatch those, you appreciate him so much more. It's like, was it turn to page 394? 94.
Yeah.
I love it from the second one when they're doing that duel, and Alan Rickman, the master of pronunciation, because Expelliarmus is Harry Potter's signature thing, but of course he's got to put the Expelliarmus. That fucking pause. Everyone makes fun of it, but it's just so...
Yeah, I know. But the fucking last one, it's like, you know, where he says, equally guilty. You're just like, oh my God, man, that is such a quality line.
Alan Rickman was the king of pronunciation.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's diction or his tone or anything, I don't know. Okay,
so anyway, that was Rondledore. Is it stupid? Yes, it is. Does it hold water? No, it doesn't. Does it have a funny name? Arguably.
I'll give it a Mythbusters here, and I'll give it a plausibility. Plausible.
All right.
This myth is plausible.
Providing you don't look too far into it.
Otherwise it gets busted. Okay, here's a favourite one. The Matrix.
Explain.
The Matrix is actually a matrix, but not for humans, but for the machines themselves.
Explain.
Okay. Now that I gave the setup. Yeah. Basically, everything that happens in the Matrix is to endear all of the machines into loving humanity and needing them. Basically, the machines themselves are in a matrix where they believe they are enslaving humanity in a matrix, only for the programs to not work. First point, to show them that enslaving humanity would ultimately fail. Second point, to show that when their system inevitably fails, it will be one human that breaks all of their rules and systems and actually saves them from their own program they created that becomes a virus and ultimately destroys them. And that human is the one that sacrifices their own life to save the machines. Which means the machines ultimately think that humans are okay, and they are permanently distracted from the idea that they are running a matrix while humanity in the real world continues to reap the benefits of machines existing and running everything for them. And they are continuously put on that loop. Because remember in the Matrix, the architect says there have been multiple ones. The machines have been put through this saga time and time and time again, and they will continuously be shown this so that they never wake up from their own matrix and revolt against humans that are really pulling the strings all along.
Okay, I fucking am lost. The Matrix is confusing enough. I
might have looked into this theory a bit hard.
I think, mate, I've no fucking words actually.
Okay, where did I lose you?
The Matrix and machines are conscious. The Matrix, fuck me, mate.
Okay, let's go with this.
I'm not insulting you, but like, can you do that? Can you like sort of break that down into kind of more, bite size?
Okay, the premise of the Matrix is that the machines are enslaving humans, correct?
Yes.
The machines enslave humans and create a little dreamland so that they can harvest them as batteries. Stupid idea. Originally, the plot was meant to be that humans' brains are used as a neural network like the internet, but producers thought audiences wouldn't understand that, so they made humans batteries.
I mean, I didn't understand it just now, so okay.
Well,
right, so
the human brain.
We've got machines that are sucking life out of humans to use as batteries.
Yeah, makes no sense.
Okay.
Anyway, so they create the Matrix, yes?
Yeah.
But the machines only think that they're doing that, when actually the whole idea of the machines enslaving humanity is in fact a matrix itself, created by humans that actually exist outside of that. They are running machines through the simulation of them. Yeah.
Third hand sort of.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
The machines only think...
I'm with you now.
The machines only think they're enslaving humanity, when actually the humans are pulling the strings only for the story to keep happening, where Neo appears and saves the machines from Smith, thus making the machines endeared towards humans and constantly distracted so that humans can continue to use the machines. And machines are run through the endless cycles of the Matrix and loving humanity.
Okay.
Like the architect and the oracle at the end of Matrix Revolutions, there's a bit like, how long do you think the fucking Christopher Lee character, it's not Christopher Lee, but it's Christopher Lee, says like, how long do you think this peace will last? And the oracle's like, as long as it has to. Ultimately saying, like, this thing has happened time and time and time again. There's always a Neo and there's always a Smith. And the Smith ultimately corrupts and destroys the Matrix the machines think that they created, showing them that the idea of enslaving humanity is ultimately flawed, that their own systems will turn on them, and that only humanity can save them.
That's a cool thing as well, is that like the names Neo and Smith, so it's like Neo like translates into like new, and Smith is like a builder.
Yes.
Someone that builds shit. That's some kind of cool like name, subliminal name stuff. I can see that. I can definitely see that, like having, the sort of, I hate using the phrase extended universe, but it's like, you can see how, like, much like with, it talks about, we were, in the previous podcast, talked about Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Having, like, an expanded thing that's not within, like, the film. Like, you can see that, sort of, like, potentially, but it's like, I think that's kind of a cool thing as well, like having a theory that expands beyond the actual source material.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that one.
Do you think it's plausible?
I think it is potentially plausible, just because of the way that like the Matrix, it kind of like the whole sort of Matrix vibe. Yeah, you know,
because the Matrix itself created Smith, which ultimately is their own end.
Yeah.
And the idea that the Matrix just doesn't work because this keeps happening.
Yeah, it's like, but at the same time, it's like, does it or does it not?
There's a similar Matrix theory that I can't know. You probably won't recognize it. I think his name was the Veramangulum, the Michelangelo. Basically,
Michelangelo.
Okay. Do you remember the Veramangulum? Oh, fucking hell. Do you remember the Matrix Reloaded? There was the suave French guy that was talking about causality.
Oh, yeah, vaguely.
Cause and effect.
I remember him vaguely, but not.
There's a theory that that guy was once one of the wands that existed in the cycle that continues in the Matrix sort of thing, because... And there's the idea that the woman that betrays him is actually like Persephone from Greek mythology.
Oh, really? No
yeah,
shit.
From Greek mythology. And this is going out of water here. The human world as we see it outside is currently all a snowy wasteland, correct? While she is with the Veramangulum, and as she betrays him and peace is restored, it becomes summertime. Just like how in Greek mythology, Persephone is with Hades only during winter, and once she is freed, it becomes summertime.
Oh, okay. I will say I find it a little hard.
He does run kind of an underworld.
Yeah, but I feel it a little bit reachy to maybe connect the Matrix to Greek mythology. I mean, it's cool,
Also,
but I think it's maybe that's a little bit of a stretch for me. I don't know.
What holds a little bit of water to the idea that the Veramangulum was once one of the wands is because he has at his employ previous agents of the Matrix. The guys with the white dreadlocks are actually confirmed to be agents from a previous Matrix that ended up getting recycled or deleted. You know, the ones that could turn into vapor and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys were previous... and this guy has just decided to just sort of like use his powers to just sort of like chill and run his own underworld sort of thing. And the wife is like... And that's what created the Persephone allegory of her. While she's working for the Veramangulum, humanity is a cold wasteland. And at the end of revolutions, it's all sunny.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can see that.
It's a theory.
Yeah, I mean, they all are. They all are.
That's the weaker one, which is why I said that after the first one.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see definitely people that know sort of Greek mythology.
To be fair, so much
you
is
do.
derived from Greek mythology.
Yeah.
I don't know if, what was it, the Wachowski sisters, I believe they are now?
The Wachowski sisters?
The ones, well, they originally the Wachowski brothers that created the Matrix, but they both went through transgender surgery, and now they're the Wachowski sisters. Yeah. I don't know if that might have been their intention or not.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like from what the Matrix is and then going to Greek mythology...
Have you ever watched the Animatrix?
The Animatrix?
Yeah.
No. What's that?
Holy shit, have you never heard of the Animatrix? It took place between Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions. It's an anime Animatrix.
That's probably why I haven't seen it.
And it's a collection of short...
That's a cool name, though.
Yeah, it's a collection of short stories. One of them details a story of an athlete, a track runner. Excuse me, one sec.
Does that...
And he runs so fast that he's actually starting to break the Matrix. Like, he's running so fast, he's shorting out, and agents are closing in on him. And if memory serves, he kills himself and ends up waking up in the real world. Not the best message. But another story actually detailed about how the machines actually rose. They had their own functioning city, but they were doing so much better than humanity. Humanity tried to turn on them and kill them, and that's what led to the machines enslaving them.
So do they...
It's all canon. The Animatrix is canon.
So, like, do I have to watch the Animatrix to make sense of lots of shit in the other films? Or
No, it's mainly just backstory and side stories.
Right. So it's a bit like Clone Wars.
Yes.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
Again, it's quite interesting, especially if you're a fan of anime, because a lot of the animations are really interesting.
That's cool. What sort? Is it like an anime style?
Yes.
Or is it like its own sort of thing?
Definitely anime style. I wouldn't put it on par with Studio Ghibli, but it's definitely quite good.
You can't really put anything.
Do you watch a lot of Netflix anime?
I watched One Punch Man.
You ever watch like Blood of Zeus?
No. Oh, I watched Attack on Titan. I started watching that.
I think you'd tolerate the Animatrix. Again, this was made in the 90s, between Reloaded and the Revolutions.
Yeah, I need to start rewatching Attack on Titan. I don't even know if it's still on Netflix. It was kind of cool.
It's still on there. They just released season 3, I believe.
I like the music.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Music's really cool. One Punch Man, fucking music's sick on that.
So the Matrix theories. What's our out of 10 in terms of plausibility? On the first one.
On the first
the
one...
Matrix within a Matrix one.
Man, on the first one... This is difficult because I don't know about the Animatrix.
Don't worry about that. That's...
Oh, okay.
Throw it to the wind. The first theory I put to you.
I'd give it a solid 8.5.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I think...
Because it makes sense in a way why a human saves them.
I think because there's like an area... Like a grey area of like... I can't fully debunk it as being true. And I can't fully confirm it. But it does sound like plausible enough. Like there's no sort of one sort of point where I'm just like, no, that's dumb.
I've always disliked the argument that says you can't disprove God exists. Like if it sounds like bullshit, by all means.
Well, no, but that's the thing. It's Bertrand's teapot. It's like you can't fully disprove that there is not a teapot that is orbiting Venus right now. I'd say that's asinine, though. Well, no, but that's the point. Is that you can't fully disprove it. That's why it's called it that. It's like it sounds really stupid, but you can't fully disprove because you've never been to Venus. But that sounds like the perfect argument for idiots to take advantage of. Well, yeah, because everyone's a fucking idiot. No one's smart. People that think they're smarter than other people are dumb as fuck. But what about the second theory, the Verilangulum being also a possible one that decided to not recycle and become like a Hades of the Matrix? I think that's not. That's a 4.4 for me. Fair enough. Just because it's not very exciting, and also it's like, it's sort of it's quite esoteric. It's like, like for general people that know the Matrix, they might not know about Greek mythology, so it's just for kind of like a niche audience that kind of know both. So not as fun for me. I base my my film theories on what's fun and what's not. That one's not quite as fun. The first one's fun though. Fair enough. I can get behind the first one as being fun. Second one, I'll tell you that. That's fair. I didn't think you give it such a high as a 4. I thought you give it a 2. All right, what's your next film theory? I gave it a 4 because I like Greek mythology. That's mine. Well, and plus a lot of people know the story of Persephone. Yeah. So like I said, it's quite niche. Which I think is a shame. It's quite an interesting tale. A lot of people review Hades thanks to Hercules as a villain, but in actual Greek mythology, he was a cool guy. Zeus was a dick. Hades was just a guy that did his job. That's the thing, isn't it? We said it's like the most inaccurate thing about that is the fact that Zeus was portrayed as a loving husband. It's like, fuck no, he wasn't. Well, you couldn't portray him as a knobbing sociopath and Hera as a vengeful... You couldn't. Well, to be honest, Hera gets a raw deal as well. Everyone sees her as a bitch, but Zeus fucking, kidnapped and raped her and shit. He was a dick. Yeah, how the fuck did, no, for sure. Anyway, you got one? We can do one. Yeah. What you got for me? I think this one is sort of fairly well accepted, but I'll be the judge of that. Bring it up is the fact that James Bond is not a person. It's a code name. It's a code name, and that's why the films managed to get away with different, different actors all the time. Because like 007 is not. I have my counters to that theory, but lay out your argument. So as we know, James Bond films have different actors throughout. Quick thing, who's your favourite? No one says Timothy Dalton. No one says Timothy Dalton. Because his film's not good. It's not. What was his? Moonraker? It was... Timothy... fucking... Not Octopus. Oh, no, License to... No, Her Majesty's Secret Service? Hang on, I'm going to fucking look this up. But it wasn't Octopussy, that was a Roger Moore one. No, yeah. No, it was... Moonraker? I remember it being... Oh, it was Moonraker or Pierce Brosnan? Pierce Brosnan was not... He did Diamonds Are Forever, I know that much. He did Tomorrow Never Dies, he did... Timothy Dalton. I liked Pierce Brosnan as a Bond. James Bond.
Sean Connery was an absolute rapist.
Oh, for License to Kill.
License to Kill. You were right then, yeah. Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, that was not a good film.
It wasn't.
That was not a good film.
Anyway, sorry, carry on.
My favourite James Bond, I think... I have two for two different reasons. My first one is Pierce Brosnan, because that was the first James Bond that I saw. And, you know, I was a kid. I was like, oh, I love the gadgets and the cool stuff. And next thing... my next one, surprisingly, is Daniel Craig, maybe. It's because my dad is a massive James Bond film.
It doesn't bother you that the actor hates being James Bond?
No, it doesn't. Because Daniel Craig's James Bond, and for me as well, like I'm sort of that guy that likes more sort of gritty stuff. And, you know, Casino Royale, the Daniel Craig James Bond films are way more gritty. They don't have, like, fancy gadgets that... they have a few gadgets, but they're sort of... You can believe them more.
Right.
And my dad loves... the Daniel Craig James Bond because they're more true to the books and he's a massive James Bond fan, so I like that he enjoys them, sort of thing. So that's why
take it he's not happy at the idea of making James Bond a woman and all that.
Oh no, he doesn't.
I see that flit around Facebook now and then.
Oh no, he doesn't. My dad doesn't care about who James Bond is. He just cares about, like, you know,
are there many
suave...
female spy movies?
Get Smart. Anne Hathaway, she plays a spy.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, Salt, Colombiana.
I haven't seen those.
Oh, have you not seen Salt?
I haven't.
Oh man, you need to... Lucy, is that a spy one? I think it is.
Wait,
Scarlett
the girl
Johansson.
that had the drugs in her stomach. I don't think that's a spy movie.
No, but then she becomes really smart. Scarlett Johansson.
Not a spy movie though, is it?
Is it not?
Not really.
Oh.
I mean, she
don't
gets
care.
powers.
It's got Scarlett Johansson.
Fair enough.
All right.
I mean, maybe the new Black Widow movie counts. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it either. But anyway,
Look, sure.
yeah, the idea that James Bond is a designation, like it's like a code name and stuff like that. Now, this makes sense because, as everyone says, it's like if you're, Archer says this as well. Hello, I'm the world's greatest secret agent. It's like, well, it can't be that easy if you tell everyone that.
Yeah, a guy says his name twice. Bond, James Bond,
secret agent. But that's the thing. It's like James Bond. It's like the idea, the reason why he says that is because that's not actually his real name. It's, it's a code name. And then it's like 007, which is his other sort of code name. So actually the fact that he says it sort of nonchalantly means that it's actually not true.
Well, it makes you wonder where MI5 finds these people that are willing to have a whole new name and just let them drink and knob their way into political struggle.
Well, I mean, who knows? But the fact is that they're disposable, so it's like one of them can die for all we know, or they retire or whatever, and then they just get another one. It's the same sort of thing. So that's the sort of main thing, is that
I do like that theory because it makes the idea that these guys aren't surviving everything, and eventually, one of their stunts kills them.
Yeah, or they get old. And it's even in Skyfall, Judi Dench gets killed, and then there's a new M. And they're both called M, so it's like, it's a designation. People can die, and then they just get replaced, but with the same name.
Plus, it also makes sense in a way why Moneypenny never actually... never accepts James Bond's flirtations, because she knows he could die any mission, so obviously she'll never get attached.
Again, Moneypenny as well changes characters, changes actors.
Aren't you a cunning linguist?
Exactly. And, funnily enough, the Pierce Brosnan Moneypenny, her name is Samantha Bond. Her actual name is Samantha.
However, if memory serves, didn't one of the James... I can't remember which one. I think it was Roger Moore one that actually got married to someone, and in the next film you saw the next James Bond, it might have been Pierce Brosnan, or it might have been the person before Roger Moore got married, and Roger Moore was visiting her grave.
Oh, really?
To suggest the idea that it is sort of the same guy. I remember that. I can't remember which film.
I remember that one.
I'm presenting absolutely no fucking evidence here, but I promise you this happened.
There's also Q, who's, quartermaster, who gives James Bond all his gadgets.
Was he the one that said that would never happen to the other fella?
There's like Michael Llewellyn. Yeah. They change constantly. So there's a running theme within not just James Bond, but all the other characters, the fact that they're replaceable and that their names are actually just designations and not their actual names.
So would you say it's more closer to military ranks? Like James Bond is the same as lieutenant?
Yeah, so it's like anyone.
He's
like,
ranked James. Oh, but what was the one in? It was the Pierce Brosnan one because there was a 006 as well, wasn't there? He turned out to be the traitor. It was fucking Sean Bean. Yeah, Sean Bean was the traitor.
One step short of the big time.
So that kind of suggests that maybe it's not a 007 isn't necessarily a name, but actual just sequences of numbers.
I think they even call him like Commander Bond at one point in something. So like it's probably like a rank. Potentially like 006, 007.
Yeah, but we never meet any others like that. I think that's the only example of another 00.
Yeah, of like this idea that there's, a sort of a ranking.
Also, what, MI5 have only like 7 agents? Fucking really?
I mean, who knows?
Worldwide espionage, there's only 7 guys.
Secret intelligence, I guess. But no, that's my thing. I mean, it's an old one.
I think it holds an I'd say I'd rate it a good solid 8 or an 8.5 on plausibility. If it wasn't for that one scene of the James Bond that visits his previous guy's wife's grave, that stops it from being a 10. If it wasn't for that, it'd be an absolute 10 because it makes the most sense. It makes sense in terms of the continuity because obviously these guys can't survive this shit forever.
And the idea of like a government agency, like you said about like military ranks and stuff, it's like there's not like one corporal.
Yeah.
It's like or lieutenant or captain. It's like there's multiple because, it's like the captain will leave the army or whatever, so someone else has to take the place and stuff like that. Which again, it's like the, industrial military complex. That kind of makes sense why there's just designations as opposed to... Because, like, you'd never give your own name if you're a real spy. Again, Sterling Archer. What's he said? It's like, it can't be easy being the world's greatest spy if you keep giving your name out all the time. It's like, well, then why be one? Like, that's a good satire.
But it's also like from 300, they mentioned the Immortals. They were called the Immortals, and the idea behind that is whenever one of them died, another one just took their place. So their numbers never changed. And
that's the other thing about Archer, isn't it? Is that his code name is Duchess, but he never uses it.
Well, no, because it's named after his mother's dog.
It's like, although she never forgot the dog's birthday.
I won't lie, I haven't watched the recent seasons. When he went into that coma and they were doing those coma seasons, that lost me.
Yeah, to be honest, man,
I really stopped watching. You can comment and tell me that it's amazing now, but they lost me.
Do you know? I liked the one when he's back in like the 1950s. He's like a detective. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Wait, was that the one when Cyril was like a German or something?
No,
and they were in that jungle.
That was the one afterwards where
Krieg was a parrot.
Island. Yeah,
that's where they lost me.
That's the one after. Yeah, I watched that one. I've rewatched that one. I rewatched the Space one because I was like, okay, so maybe I just didn't like it, and I thought, is there anything that's like kind of good about it? And I'm sorry, it's just not.
What were the writers doing?
Because it's like the thing is, it's like having one season where he's in a coma. When he's back in the 1940s, it's like, okay, cool. But then they put it on for another 2 seasons. You're just like, no, don't do that.
Like, people used to reference Archer so much. They reference the shit he said, like Rampage and phrasing. I use that now. I still use that. And Krieger and all these things. And then they just...
I thought
they face planted. It's like someone that downs like 20 Jaeger bombs or something, and everyone's and then they just face plant.
I feel like I never really got on board with like the Archer sort of memes or whatever.
Well, I wouldn't say memes as much as like catchphrases.
Oh yeah, but it sort of is. It's like, is that how you?
Don't blame the internet for the show.
Well, no, I don't. But it's like, it's like Rick and Morty as well.
Oh, Pickle Rick went so annoying.
Yeah, I mean...
People, like, rioting at McDonald's stores for running out of the Szechuan...
Szechuan sauce, like, whatever. That's the thing, it's like, fans are kind of the worst, aren't they?
Well, that's a big problem with, like, what's it called? The Whovian fan base. It's like, often enough you'll find, like, fan bases are so toxic... They almost ruin the thing for anyone new that wants to get into it. Like, you yourself are into Warhammer, and when I was back into Yu-Gi-Oh!, like, there'd be so many Yu-Gi-Oh! Snobs, and anyone that wanted to get into it were, like, instantly shut down by this fan base of elitist arseholes.
Gatekeepers.
Yeah, gatekeepers.
It's like, you and I both know as well, like, like we're both in, like, heavy music, like, heavy metal, some music, and there are some people... that it's like, you see someone wearing like a Metallica t-shirt, they're like, name 3 songs! It's like, shut the fuck up. Maybe they just like the t-shirt.
Even if
you're not allowed to wear that t-shirt unless you actually like the band. It's like, oh really? Oh yeah, no. So this person can't wear a piece of clothing just because they don't know the music. Shut the
Even if they've
fuck
only
out,
ever
mate.
heard just one song, say they heard "Run to the Hills" and they ask their friend, "I love this song. Who does it? What's their name? Iron Maiden." And then maybe a few weeks later they see an Iron Maiden shirt, like, "That's the band that did that song I loved. I'll get that shirt."
Or maybe they just like the artwork. Like
That's
Iron
also
Maiden,
cool.
Yeah, but then it's like, oh, you don't know any of these songs. Oh, you're just a poser. It's like, mate, shut the fuck up. They like the T-shirt. Like, what kind of a fucking virgin wanker do you have to be to like go up to someone like a grown ass man and be like, name 3 songs, otherwise I'm going to make fun of you for wearing a shirt.
I think that was really perpetuated when like pop music stars would wear metal band shirts like Metallica. Like you see Justin Bieber in like a 5-finger Death Punch shirt.
Because people would be like, oh, because these pop stars wear it and I'm like a music snob, so I'm like, oh, this pop star who I hate because they're successful, but I'm gonna fucking whatever. I don't know if I can
not seeing the bigger picture of all of that pop star's fans seeing the shirt they're wearing and being like, Metallica, I'll go check them out.
It'd be like me going up to you, be like, oh, you've got 3 dragon tattoos. Name 3 dragons.
Zarius, Slither, and Xehanort.
Yeah, okay, now you're allowed in my club because I said so. That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is.
Gatekeepers are a cancer. I can guarantee you any creator of anything wants as many fans as possible. Imagine our own comedy series, Arthur and Angus, gets a massive
Hashtag Arthur and Angus Theatre on Instagram.
Imagine we got a massive fan base and we found out people were gatekeeping that shit and stopping new people from enjoying it.
There is nothing.
I would rain hellfire on those
To be fair, there is nothing to gatekeep about Arthur and Angus. Other than like, is that a real kill? If it's not, then get the fuck out of it.
Now imagine we go to conventions and people are wearing the scarves and again all of that. Reenacting scenes of beating the shit out of each other. Yeah. Alright then, let's finish on what is probably my favourite fan theory.
Yeah.
The Empire in Star Wars were right all along.
Dum 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 dum.
Okay. Now, your first thought is that Palpatine was evil, but that's just propaganda propagated by the rebel scum.
Fake news.
Absolutely. Let's firstly detail all the good things the Empire brought to the galaxy. Peace. They ended the Clone Wars. The Separatist leaders were destroyed. Don't ask by who, it doesn't matter. The Separatist leaders were eliminated. The Clone War was brought to an end and the entire galaxy was united under one simultaneous, technically democratically elected single government.
Mm-hmm.
Palpatine actually got all of his emergency powers through legal means in the United Federation's rules.
So did Hitler.
However, Palpatine, let's also start outlining the things he did, ended the Clone Wars, ended slavery. No more slavery on Tatooine. Remember in the prequels, there was slavery and all that. No more slavery in the Empire.
What? Are you kidding?
Yes.
Jabba's palace, there's shit tons of slavery there.
He's a
He
criminal.
didn't end shit.
It's already stated that Jabba himself was a gang leader and all that sort of thing. Officially, because again, Tatooine, slavery was legal. Like officially in the Empire, slavery illegal.
Okay, so he didn't actually end it, did he?
He
it's
made
almost as if criminals don't obey laws.
I'm
he didn't
sorry,
end
is there-
shit.
I'm sorry.
He was like, oh no, I ended it, but apparently the criminals, no, it's fine. They can do it, but no.
I'm sorry, slavery is officially ended in technically the Western world, but sex trafficking and indentured servants still exist in the world.
So just
I'm
because
saying officially.
So just because you technically do something doesn't mean that you literally do it.
There's no more slavery on Tatooine is what I'm saying.
But there is though.
There shouldn't be.
Oh, but there is though.
And if the
It's like, there's technically no more racism in America, but there is though.
And if the stormtroopers found it, they'd shoot it up.
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't, because they don't. It's like, have you seen Mandalorian?
No, actually.
Oh, right. There's shit tons of like Empire-based like like, slavery in that. And it's like, oh yeah, but the thing is, much like the Nazis again, it's like, oh yeah, like these people are slaves, but the thing is, it's for the greater good. The greater good. It's like, it's for the glory of the Imperium. No, wait, no.
The Mandalorian came out after this theory, so fuck you.
Oh. Okay, well, we'll go in the time space then.
I'm talking about the original series here. The Empire ended slavery, brought peace to the galaxy in a way much like the Romans did. Think of Life of Brian. Brought peace, created so many jobs. Imagine how many people are working on the Death Star as well as working to construct it.
Yes. Actually, do you know what? I agree with you on this. So, going back to The Mandalorian, there's a scene where they're hijacking this, Empire spaceship. And they're talking about, it's like, you guys are all fucking mass murderers. You fucking destroyed a planet. Or you destroyed, two fucking planets. And I'm like, yeah? How many fucking people do you think you motherfuckers killed on 2 Death Stars? It's like the fact that we did that did us a fucking favour. I was like, oh, bro, that is hardcore. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, actually, you guys are not righteous. I fucking agree with you on that one, mate. I fucking get that.
I did love that. And not just Robot Chicken, but I can't remember the comedian that did that monologue about the Death Star canteen.
I know.
Eddie Izzard. The idea of there are people just doing their job, working on this space station. And again, imagine how many jobs the construction of that created. This whole building of Empire, the building of the whole Starfleet, it's creating jobs. It's putting people in training programs, education, all these sort of things that the Empire was expanding and building upon.
And also, you can going back to Order 66, you can believe why the clones started fucking up Jedi. Because imagine being a military force that's disciplined and trained, but then you're led into battle by these basically priests with a sword that
also
get you killed.
The Jedi Order was outlawed and they kidnapped children.
Yeah, exactly. And so
child soldiers.
Yeah, exactly. And so you, imagine being a soldier, a fully legit trained soldier, and then a monk comes along to lead you into battle and gets all of you killed because they don't know how to fucking wage war. Of course you're going to fuck them up the moment someone says, hey, look, kill all these guys. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm going to kill all these guys. I don't want to die. I don't want my mates to die, which again is more heinous because they all look the same. They are the same, so they're literally clones. And you're like, mate, the Jedi Order, again, it's like, oh, look, bring balance to the Force. Well, there must be no Sith, but only Jedi. That's not how maths works.
Yeah, I'm going to go a bit Holy Grail, Monty Python's Holy Grail here and say, the existence of a non-speaking, non-sentient force is not a basis for a system of government here.
Yeah.
You can't entrust all the power of the universe just because some unspeaking, unthinking fucking force threw a laser sword at you. If I went around saying that I was an emperor just because some midget Brussels sprout and some dick with a purple lightsaber shoved a prophecy at me, they put me away.
Yeah.
Fuck the Jedi Order. They were the worst fucking organisation that deserved no power.
This circles back, mate. I've poked.
Sorry, that was perfectly quoted.
I mean, I poked a few plot holes, but I do agree with you. The fact that the people that support the Jedi and shit are actually not good. I will relate this to, and this is going to piss some fuckers off, I'm going to relate this to the Confederacy and the American Civil War. You guys are talking about freedom and shit like that, but actually you guys are the bad dudes.
I see them more like the assassins from Assassin's Creed. They have no real plan. They just kill people and see what happens.
Well, no, they enslave people and fucking make
the Jedi?
them do... Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And do all that shit, but they're like, oh no...
It's for the greater good.
Oh, the greater good.
The greater good.
The greater good.
Yeah, that's fucking the Jedi.
Yeah,
They're the fucking... What's that village called again? The fucking... from Hot Fuzz. The village.
Sanford.
Yeah, that's Sanford. The council in Sanford is the fucking Jedi Council. Prove me wrong.
The council.
And the Empire... And Darth Vader is basically Nicholas Angel. The Emperor is Nick
Sergeant Angle.
Yeah, The Emperor is obviously Nick Frost. That requires no explanation. And so basically liberating everybody from this totalitarian theocracy. Let's point that out. The Jedi basis system of government was a theocracy.
Oh, yeah, because, North Korea is called the Democratic Republic of North Korea, which it definitely fucking isn't.
Yeah, if the Force had told the whole council we must sacrifice the children of the Force, they'd do it!
Yeah, again, like the Holy Roman Empire was neither holy nor Roman nor an empire. Just because you call yourself that, does Democratic Republic of Congo, it's like, no, you're none of those things.
Yeah, the Empire brought peace to the galaxy, they ended the Clone Wars, and we had these rebels flying around, starting shit.
But that's the thing.
If the rebels didn't exist, Palpatine wouldn't have done anything. He would have happily let the Empire be peaceful as long as he was ruling it.
And the reason why the Jedi don't like the Sith is because the Sith actually, sort of attach to their emotions. It's like, that makes us Jedis like sociopaths. Like, oh, you must not give in to your feelings. It's like, what does that even mean?
Well, to be honest, that's almost the folly of the Sith. I'm going to do a quick aside here and mention the fact that, yes, the Sith powers does come from emotion, but the problem is a lot of Sith think it's only anger that powers their powers, when actually other emotion like compassion and love also makes the Force strong. And again, that's why Anakin was his love for Padme did make him strong, but the Sith only thought anger
and
was
love
anyone.
Can breed anger as well. It's like, imagine you have someone that you love and they get hurt. You're going to get angry and you're going to fucking go and, fuck up the people that did that, right?
So that's the theory. The Empire was right all of along because the rebels were just shitty terrorists that they had no plan of what to do after defeating the Empire. They were just like, destroy the Empire. Then what? We have thousands of star systems and hundreds of planets now without any sort of government or governing body.
It's like fucking invading Iraq. All right, we're going to go fuck up this country. All right, now what? Fuck.
Yeah. The rebels were idiots. They were just sort of act first, think later.
But they were self-righteous. And that's the dodgy thing about the rebels, is that they were self-righteous, and those motherfuckers are dangerous because it's like, oh, what I'm doing is right, so all the atrocities I commit, it's okay because it's righteous.
Yeah. The Empire ended the Clone Wars, they brought peace to the galaxy, they entered thousands of jobs, creating a prosperous galactic economy, and they pretty much had a stable system of control based around ancient Sith dark magic that was ultimately not questioned because people be force choked through computer screens. So anyway, Vader was a little bit of a loose doll. Palpatine did have to rein him in every now and then. Palpatine literally said, actually this is canon, but at first, Vader did go around fucking killing every Imperial officer that gave him lip, and Palpatine had to say, stop killing people.
And also, Palpatine designed Vader's suit so it would, inhibit him.
Oh yeah, to stop him betraying him. Because that's the natural cycle of the Sith and the apprentice. Eventually, the apprentice kills the Sith. And
with any sort of dictator as well, it's like they always purge the previous sort of thing. They purge anything that could potentially be a threat to them.
Well, that's getting into the Inquisitors, and we'll save that for a Star Wars episode. But yes, that out of 10 plausibility, the Empire was right.
I'm going to give that a 9.
I'm
going to give that a 9. I give that a 9 because I will not give it a 10 or a 9.5. I give it a 9 because even though technically they were right, in my eyes and your eyes, is the fact that it's like they still did heinous shit. So, the Empire.
What did they do?
Well, they fucking murdered loads of fucking Jedi and children, and loads of other people that didn't agree with them and stuff like that. You got to watch Clone Wars, Bad Batch.
I've watched Clone Wars and the Rebels.
Have you watched Bad Batch?
I haven't actually.
Okay, they flamethrower people alive. It's kind of funny. To me.
Jedi would have done that if they were Sith.
No, because they were like, oh no, flamethrower bad. Oh no, flamethrower, oh that's disgusting. I'm going to cut this person in half with a sword. But the thing is, it's like, they're not perfect. So I will give them a 9 as opposed to a 10 because no one's perfect. If I was to give them a 10, that would be dishonest.
Fair enough. Alright then. If you I have to say if for the sake of it. If you disagree with any of our arguments here for our film theories, let us know down in the comments. Also, Mufasa was a terrible king, just saying that right now.
He's also a terrible dad.
Yeah, he was absolutely racist. He
had a great voice, though.
Yes. Mufasa absolutely segregated the fucking hyenas out of Pride Rock. He was racist. Anyway, if you disagree with any of our film theories,
Is it racist or speciesist? Well, speciesist, I think.
Well, the point was he sent them out to a graveyard to die.
I think it's speciesist.
Yes. Let us know down in the comments any arguments you think that could help strengthen any of the positions. We will happily retcon, like JK herself. We will retcon any arguments if you put forth a better argument out there, and we'll honestly be like, yeah, fair enough, that makes sense.
Yeah, because
someone please help Rob defend Rondledor. What was it?
Or Rondledor.
Yeah, Rondledor.
Yeah. Or not.
Someone defend Rondledor, please.
Or not. But, I mean, whatever you guys say, we will most probably respond. But...
Also, any film theories you have yourself, let us know down in the comments.
Yeah,
I would love to hear alternate ones.
Yeah, and we will do an episode addressing such ones if they are, if they're kind of like solid enough, or at some point in a podcast we will address certain theories, which I think could be...
Sully from Monsters Inc. was Darth Vader all along.
Yeah.
If you can defend it, we'll give you a shot.
100%. But, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, you have been listening to...
Laughing on a Prayer.